Hello! It's Nia and Trent from the Trident Network's Tournament Podcast.
We just wanted to pop in and tell you about the Tourney Pod, where each week we pit different pieces of pop culture against each other in a March Madness-style tournament.
We try to cover everything, from movies to TV shows to music to random stuff, like our hotly contested Best Pasta Shape bracket.
You can listen to the Tournament Podcast and all other Trident Network shows wherever you get your podcasts.
We hope you'll become an attorney at Pod soon enough, and remember, may the thing with the most votes win.
Hey pals, just a quick heads up that Al and our special guest Ryan had some audio difficulties during the synopsis portion of our episode. There might be a couple points where you hear a slightly different sound quality to some of their audio, but you still get Al, you still get Ryan, and it's still a great episode. So enjoy.
So Marty, have you thought any more about going to the party? I mean, everyone's going to be there, even your mom.
My mom? You're lying. My mom hates Halloween.
Oh, I think my dad got her into the spirit. He's not really my dad, actually. He's more of a science experiment, but he's got her into a really ugly mask. It's a scream.
You know, this is not the way to talk me into a date.
This is more than a date. This is our future together.
I'm in control of my own future, and it doesn't include you.
Bye, 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 bye. And I wanna make it now. And I wanna be the reason why you love no more. Bye, bye. Hey, Val.
Hey Al. Hey Ryan.
Hi.
Welcome to Decommentary.
Thank you. Welcome to you. Welcome to our listeners. And welcome to our special guest, Ryan.
Yay!
Ryan, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm known as Ryan. Well, where to start? I was born in Arlington Heights at Northwest Community
Ryan
Hospital.
is my roommate.
Yeah, number one, my identity is Al's roommate. But no, that's what I'm sort of here today.
Mm-hmm.
To chat.
Yes. And we're so glad to have you.
We are so happy to have you. One,
Thank
for
you.
two reasons. One, you're my roommate. Two, you are obsessed with this movie and this series.
So much to talk about the Halloweentown Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. There's truly no one else that could have joined us today for this episode. And
Lots
Val,
to
what are we
have.
watching today? Did you already say it?
No, I didn't.
Tell
but
us.
the reason why Ryan is here today is because we are talking about Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. Yes. Halloweentown 2, obviously the sequel to Halloweentown. Halloweentown 2 came out on October 12th, 2001. This was directed by Mary Lambert, who did not, from what I could tell, direct any other DCOMs. She mostly has directed a cross-section of music videos and horror movies.
Okay. I think this fits right in
horror.
that
I know.
Horror music.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, this is that. This is where that lives.
The
So,
intersection of those two.
yeah, for sure. So that made sense to me for sure. It was written by John Cooksey and Allie Marie Matheson, who both had identical resumes.
I wish that would be us.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe it could be one day.
She could keep up with my resume.
Get ready for a lot of this.
No, yeah, it's going to be great. I'm so excited. The most notable thing on their resume was they wrote a bunch of Rugrats episodes. Yeah.
Fun. I've
Yeah.
watched that.
Yeah, for sure. Me too.
Raise your hand if you were emotionally scarred from the episode where Chucky eats a watermelon seed.
Yeah.
I will never forget that episode. Also, the
Horrifying.
episode that is like a wonderful life. It's a Wonderful Life, where he isn't born and he gets to see the world without him. It's very scary. Anyway, Cast is as follows. Kimberly J. Brown reprised her role as Marnie Piper. Yes, give her applause.
Their
'cause she
last name
deserves
is
it.
Piper?
Yes. That's what it said on
Marnie Piper Cromwell? Oh, well, the dad was it?
yeah, because her mom's maiden name is
famously.
Cromwell.
Okay, that.
Was it Normie?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that's not her last name. And she's Cromwell, and it's
Right.
it's marriage into
Right.
the
Marriage,
Right.
yeah.
human.
Because women don't have their own names.
Correct.
Yes. She
Val
is
Erickson.
never, ever. But I mean, Agnew is just my dad's name.
Women.
We don't have our own names. Anyway, you'll know Kimberly J. Brown obviously from Halloweentown. Also, she was in she was in Quince. And I looked a little closer at her resume, and she's been in a lot of soap operas.
Oh, okay.
So that's
Yeah, you
mostly
can
what
tell.
she's been doing post childhood stardom.
okay.
Her grandma Aggie is played by none other than
Ah.
Debbie Reynolds.
Ah.
What a queen. She was the best. She is most known for Singing in the Rain. She was also in The Unsinkable Molly Brown, among many other films in that era. She had her own show, the Debbie Reynolds Show. She voiced a character on Rugrats, actually. Grandma Lulu.
Nice.
Lulu Pickles. And she was more recently known as, was it Grace's mom on Will and Grace? She's definitely on Will and Grace. I'm pretty sure she plays Grace's mom on Will and Grace.
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, she's been in lots and lots of other things, but those are some notables.
Most notably Halloweentown.
Absolutely. I mean, it is pretty cool if you think about it. Like, you know, she's obviously known to generations for different things, right? And like our generation, she is Aggie Cromwell, right? Like
Mhm.
she's not necessarily from Singing in the Rain or whatever she was known for our parents or our parents' parents. Pretty neat.
Spooky.
Judith Hoag played Gwen Piper, Marnie's mom and Aggie's daughter.
Val, before you keep going, every day I start to dress more and more like that woman. Redhead wearing denim.
Yeah, I mean, it's back in style.
Yeah.
That fashion is back in style.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's a beautiful woman. So
thank you
I mean,
so much, Val.
Okay. Judith was in lots and lots of things, but some notables. She played April in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. She was in the movie Armageddon. She was in the show Big Love, Nashville, and The Magicians more recently.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Joey Zimmerman played Dylan Piper, Marnie's brother. And he doesn't really act anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, he stopped acting pretty
That's all right.
soon
Ryan
after
has
this.
a vendetta against Dylan.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's got some.
Uh-oh.
Dylan Stan.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy, can't wait to hear about that one.
Emily Roski, yeah, we'll go with that, played Sophie Piper. Yeah, the youngest Cromwell or Piper, I guess. She doesn't act either.
She is on TikTok though.
Shame.
She is on TikTok.
She's on
but she
TikTok.
but she hasn't acted, I think, since like, I don't know, the mid 2000s or something.
Before times.
Philip Van Dyke reprised his role as Luke. And he doesn't really act either. I didn't realize this last time when we talked about Halloweentown, but he was one of the main characters in Hey Arnold.
Oh.
A lot of voice actors in this cast, but he stopped acting completely in 2003. So
Okay. Wonder what happened. Hope you're doing okay, buddy.
yeah. Daniel Kuntz played Cal. He is Kimberly J. Brown's like real life partner.
Yeah.
And they met on this set. Did they date when they were kids or they didn't
I
date
don't
until
know.
later? I think they didn't start dating until they were like adults, but I could be wrong about that.
But what a love story.
What a love
That
story, the
line that we just
Halloweentown
read
romance.
Yeah.
Really like hits different.
Yeah. It's different when you
This
know
is
that
your
they
life,
have
not
canoodled
this
in
is
real
your
life.
Future.
Right? What a weird thing. Who knew they'd be making
This isn't
TikToks
just
together?
a movie.
Right. This is
Yeah,
our
20 years later,
future.
they're doing TikTok trends.
Yeah.
And he hasn't really acted much either. He didn't have much of a resume nothing of note. Peter Wingfield played Alex. I'm not sure.
He's the Cal's dad.
Oh, the front.
Oh, right. Yeah. He had a long resume, but it was all like British shows that I've never heard of.
Nice. We love the
Mhm.
UK.
Mhm.
Wait,
I watch a
wait,
lot of
whoa.
British shows, and I had not heard of any of them. So I don't
Mm.
know. I don't know how we're missing each other there.
Yeah.
Blue Mankuma played Gort.
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 The delightful Gort. He is perhaps perhaps unsurprisingly from his performance, he is mostly a voice actor.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
A lot of voice work.
He's fun.
Yeah. Richard Side played Benny, the skeleton taxi driver.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an improviser from Canada.
No way.
Mhm.
Yes, and
Zip.
zap,
Zap.
zip,
Zap.
zap,
Zip.
zap,
Zap.
zip.
Red Ball. Thank you.
Oh!
Okay. Jessica Lewis played Cindy, who is the friend of Marnie's who dressed like a vampire and momentarily. Well, actually, I won't say the other part because that's a spoiler.
Oh,
Cindy. The only reason I bring up Cindy is much like what was her name?
Alessia Rulin.
Yeah, Alessia Rulin from previous movies. Cindy has one of the longer resumes in the cast, or not Cindy,
Okay.
Jessica has one of the longer resumes. So she was on Melrose Place, Grace Point, Gotham was a big one, and she is now on The Resident.
Oh, cool.
Mhm.
What's her name again?
Jessica Lucas.
Nice. I think
Yeah.
I know who she is on The Resident because I see those trailers. I don't watch it, but I see the trailers because I watch the show either before or after it.
Okay, the synopsis is as follows. An angry warlock has stolen a magic spellbook and plans to turn everyone into whatever costume they're wearing at midnight on Halloween. It's a race against time to get the book back and save the humans from permanent horror. What?
That is so
That's like
Cal focused.
yeah.
And-
That's like the most meta version of what happens.
Like,
It doesn't include anything
sort of the
about the fact that,
protag.
or that he's getting revenge on like the Cromwells.
it's
there's no-
literally in the title synopsis, writer.
Mm,
Revenge.
right.
I don't know. That was a weird synopsis.
Yeah.
We had a really good one last time, and now this
yeah,
one
we did
sucks.
have a good one last time.
Oh, well. Okay.
Oh, I wanted to shout out Poof Point Taj Mowry, who's now in that new bowling TV show on like NBC.
There's a bowling TV show?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's in it.
Great. Taj, we're happy for you.
Yeah. Shout out Taj Mowry. Your
Well-
DComs weren't great, but your career has been.
Good.
Good.
He deserves it.
You do.
He did not deserve the poof point or
He did
content.
not. No.
Okay. Ryan,
Mhm.
tell us a little bit, a brief bit about your relationship with this movie and with the Halloweentown expanded universe.
Well, yeah, the cinematic universe of Halloweentown takes up huge space in my life. We're talking magic is really very simple. All you have to do is believe and let yourself have it. We're talking Halloween is cool. Kimberly J. Brown, I tweeted that she should have won an Oscar. I didn't tag her. She responded to me, thanking me. We've tweeted multiple times at each other. So I have a deep connection with this cast. Watch Halloweentown at least 3 times a year. Who doesn't? I think it's a huge, it's a deeply influential film. And when I talk about the Halloweentown Cinematic Universe, let me be crystal clear that I'm only talking about 1 and 2, because 3, any without my girl Kimberly J. Brown is not a Halloweentown movie, period. So anyway, I just, nothing gets me in the spear quite like a viewing of Debbie and KJB and their little hijinks.
Ryan, I have a question for you. You grew up watching Halloweentown like 3 times a year.
Mhm.
How many times a year did you watch Halloweentown 2?
You know, it wasn't a required viewing. It never has been, but it has like, as a child, it would be like on. And so I would watch it. And now every year I've pivoted to include both of them as
Okay.
part of the
Well,
annual
because Ryan
rotation.
does own the DVD set,
The set.
of both
Oh,
of them.
Who among
Goodness.
us doesn't, you know?
I didn't even know there was a DVD set. That's amazing.
Get it. If you don't know it, get it.
Are there special features?
Probably. Oh, that's something that I should really dig into.
Yeah.
Or put my little vampire teeth in. Rip off blood.
Well, did you notice, Ryan, anything new on this viewing?
It's the treat that keeps on treating. The trick that keeps on tricking. I always forget that his name is Gort. I think that's amazing. One.
It's a great name.
Two, I'm always like re-shocked at like some of the plot holes, which I say that with completely only endearment in my heart. And just the capital A acting of it all. It's just beautiful. Debbie Reynolds is actually, it's like you're putting her in Shakespeare. Like she is acting the hell out of that role. Like in a really amazing, beautiful way. Like not overacting. It's like she's Lady Scottish play. I shouldn't say that. Because she is
in
like,
a workplace. You can't say that.
Meryl.
Yeah.
She's like, we're talking Sophie's Choice Meryl, Debbie Reynolds and Halloween. 2, Calabar's Revenge.
Wow. Al, do you want to follow that with your first impressions?
Thanks, Val. I also, if you're not hearing me laugh on the side as much, it's because Ryan and I are sitting next to each other. And so I'm trying not to ruin any audio. I am stifling a lot of groans. If this is your first time listening to me and Ryan interact with one another, I hope you enjoy it.
Buckle up.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Val. My first impressions were I don't remember the last time I've seen Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge, or I remember watching the beginning of it a couple years ago. I don't know if we finished it. Because it's on Disney Plus now, it is more accessible, even though for the last 5 years I have had it on DVD. I guess I've just never watched it. I'm going to give this movie a 5.5 out of 10.
What?
Okay.
I'm walking off.
Oh, okay. Ryan's gone.
Ryan Patrick Wenzel, get over here. I'm going to call your mother.
Disrespect in this space.
I wasn't sure if he actually left.
It's better than some DCOMs we've seen. It's still very hokey.
Yeah.
I think parts were fun. I found myself having a hard time focusing. And what we've seen the last couple DCOMs, I think plays a role again here of the same thing just keeps happening over and over. And we see the same thing like 3 times. I kind of felt that here too.
Fair.
I don't have an emotional attachment to this cinematic universe like some people here today. But I do love that score.
Great score.
Val, what were your first impressions?
Oh, thanks, Al. I liked this. I remember watching it as a, 15-year-old or whatever, because I was like roughly the same age as, or no, I would have been like 14, 15 years old when this came out.
Okay.
And I remember it, like, I appreciated that it was like teenagers kind of acting like grown-ups, because I always felt like I was a grown-up when I was that age.
Trapped in a Val-sized body.
Yeah. So like this kid who's like avenging his father like he's 35, and then, Marty having to kind of step up because Aggie gets sidelined pretty quickly in the movie. I liked that. I thought that, I don't know, it was fun. Like there was never a moment during the movie where I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, or like I'm bored or anything like that. I freaking love Debbie Reynolds. She was just having a freaking ball. I couldn't get over how physical she was, because I don't know how old she was at this point. She had to be at least like 60, 65. And she was like rolling around on the floor and like dancing and like jumping up off the floor and then getting back to, like, I couldn't believe how, like, I mean, I know she's a dancer by trade, but like, it was just wild to watch her like move around. Yeah, she was lovely and having a blast. The one thing that annoyed me is that the mom and the brother basically just lose everything they learned in the first movie.
Yep. Yep. Dylan,
Like-
Dylan, Gwenny, one note.
Yeah, the whole and it's a disservice to those actors, especially the mom, who is a good actor, and they gave her like nothing to do. Like they gave her the same exact thing to do in this movie, to be a wet blanket, basically. And it's a shame because she and Dylan grew a lot in that first movie, and it would have been nice to have seen them kind of like, you know, they can still have some of the same hangups, but like be a little bit farther along in their journey.
Yeah. And to cut you off, I'm sorry, something, but along the same note of it's 2 years later and mom and daughter kind of like fix their problems, but then we find out that they didn't. Like there's just such that like plot hole, like Ryan was saying earlier, of like the two of them of like, what? Like you've lived together for 2 years and you haven't figured your crap out? I don't know.
Well, and also you can put it the other way where it's like that is they didn't center it around that, right? The thing that changed about the dynamic was that Debbie Reynolds moved in, right? And like that can cause a lot of tension in a household, right? And so like I know they were trying to probably make that be sort of like, it's not so much that Gwen hasn't changed, it's that she's like triggered all the time by Aggie constantly doing magic and like, outing them like all the time in front of people. But then say like, be a little bit more explicit about that than like just having her literally repeat the same things. Like, I hate magic. I hate Halloween. Okay, why are you hosting a Halloween party then?
Right.
Like, what? I don't understand.
Dummy.
If you hate this so much, don't have people over.
Yeah.
So that was like the one thing that kind of bothered me. But I thought like... I loved this is like later in the movie. I don't know if this, I'm going to try and be as vague as possible to avoid spoilers. There's a moment where time travel is a part of this movie. And I tweeted this morning that this could and should be a part of the multiverse of madness because it felt so like weirdly akin to a lot of the like discussion around time travel and discussion around magic and science and where those two things converge, which is why I'm wearing my Science is the Real Magic shirt right now.
Buy our merch.
The way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe talks about it, and it cracked me up that like this movie like did that before like any of that happened. I don't know, it just made me giggle. Okay, Ryan, did you have any specific quotes or moments that stood out to you?
Oh, you bet. Any reference to the internet were incredible. I'll go my least favorite to my most favorite. So at the end where she's like, so this World Wide Web I've heard about, does it involve spiders? And Marnie's like, Grandma, I think maybe it's time we start your training. I loved that interaction.
Yep.
But my favorite is when she's like Marnie is threatening Dylan and says, just do it or I'll spam your diary all over the net. I love
and that worked. He was scared.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Well, because she told him I almost used that dialogue as the cold open where she's like, and then she tells him she knows his password and it's iron buns.
Iron buns. Incredible. Another one.
Can you believe that they used Ryan's same password in that movie?
I have iron
what
buns.
A weird
No one tried to get into my phone tonight. Then I love that the entire concept of Trappa is incredible to me.
Oh, yeah.
And then 4, and my final one is when Marnie says, you better stop breaking in on my spells, Cal. It's against the code of Merlin. I loved that part. The way she said it.
She's such a fun face actor.
Yes.
Oh.
She's like, against the code of Merlin. So fun.
Al?
Thanks, Val. I loved, Cal we know is a bad guy. Like, you just know that. I'm talking about it so far. So he's a bad guy. And he says, meeting you was everything I hoped it would be. And I loved that line.
He was a smooth operator.
Smooth talker. I think Dylan said this, but he said, we should have a stranger there for all of our family discussions, which is a silent nod to therapy. I liked the do it, Dylan, or I'll spam your diary all over the net. And Dylan says to Sophie, bed. And Sophie goes, don't make me laugh.
I love Sophie.
She's the best.
He goes, come right in. I have several books. And I liked that. And he goes, then this is Gort. And Gort says, what are you doing in my house? And I just thought that was a really good Shrek reference.
Oh,
Gort also said the words One Direction.
I did pick up on that.
Thank you. This is what happens when you're roommates with me for 5 years. And actually, that was my last one. That was my favorite moment when Gort said One Direction.
Perfect.
Val, what were some of your favorite quotes and moments?
At one point towards the beginning, someone said, nothing's worth getting if you can get it just by wishing.
Whoa, I missed that one.
Oh, I think that was Gwenny.
Wait, let me write that down.
One of the family. I feel like that's actually a very common theme in a lot of DCOMs, like where it's like things are more valuable or worth more if you work for them rather than just like getting them easy.
Capitalism.
If there's a point at this Halloween party. So Aggie's using her magic bag from the first movie and she's giving prizes and gifts out to the kids at the party. And at one point her bag starts malfunctioning and there's no more gifts. And the kid who didn't get a gift just goes, just my luck. It's like this 6-year-old boy. Just my luck. It was very
Nothing worth wishing is worth getting.
Right. At one point, Aggie says, that man would lose his head if his wife didn't pack it in his lunchbox.
That'd be me if I had a husband.
Right. I also wrote the spam your diary all over the net line.
That's the best line. We've decided that's the best line in the movie.
It's absolutely the best line. I'm not going. Someone's got to water the plants when they take you all away. Dylan says that.
That's a good line.
Another deep one. Don't let your hate decide for you now. I also wrote the World Wide Web line, and that is all. And I guess my favorite moment is like probably the time travel piece. It just made me giggle.
I forgot about that part and was shocked that comes into play.
Yeah, I totally forgot about it too. I remembered like the gray spell and I remembered Cal.
Yeah.
But I like had absolutely zero recollection of the entire hijinks of the time traveling.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up before we head on down to Spoiler City?
I don't think so.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Our tops have been magic trapped off. And we are
trapping all over in this place.
So we are completely nude. Headed on the bus, headed through the portal, headed on a broom to Spoiler City, Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge. Now, whenever we have a guest, I do the honors of allowing the guest to take my place and see if they can do better than me. And yet no one has, because I'm incredible. So Ryan Wenzel is here today to see if he can outshine me. He has 4 pages of notes. So strap in.
Get on your brooms. We're going to Halloweentown. So I'm going to say first and foremost, anytime I'm roasting this movie, I'm doing it with nothing but love in my heart. Nothing but love.
Anytime I roast this movie, it's because I gave it a 5.5 out of 10.
And I think something that we need to know at the start is we're straddling 2 universes, right? We're in the mortal world and the Halloweentown world. So we're popping in and out. They're weaving storylines. So we're jumping from place to place, character to character. So we start the whole movie just recapping what sort of happened last time in Halloweentown. It's like, watch the movie. It was probably a double feature on Disney Channel. Just, pop a seat an hour early and then you'll get the whole background. But anyway, they talk about how they defeated Calabar, an evil warlock who had a thing for their mother, which was like a weird thing that I was like, did that need to be brought up? But anyway, then we're done with the recap. They open up and they reveal that or maybe it was part of the recap, but Aggie left. I think this is the biggest, like the first big question is Aggie left Halloweentown, huh? The place that she was so deeply passionate about and lived in the mortal world for 2 years. I find that hard to believe. Just me knowing who Aggie is in her heart and how much Halloweentown means to her. I think that's like a plot point that I'm like, fun. That's funky to me.
My interpretation of that is that she's a grandma first and a witch second.
Oh, that's kind of beautiful. Just like I'm a like Halloweentown aficionado first and a human being second.
Mhm.
Right. Exactly like that. Yeah.
So then it does open on Marnie sort of chatting on her computer, which is the first of many references of the internet that they're trying to weave into the Halloweentown universe.
These had to all have been written in 2000 after the world didn't end, and they're like, oh, we gotta get right this
Oh, the internet's a thing. This is for the long haul. Oh.
And she's sort of chatting with a computer on a system that's called Ghoul Chat, which I think is incredible. And she's like, Mom and Grandma are fighting again. And then we find out, of course, Gwen and Aggie, as we've talked about, are back up each other's asses about the same old shit. I hate Halloween. I want my kids to be normal. They're Cromwells. They need to be Cromwells. So anyway, they also is at this time, Aggie is sort of seeing Halloweentown through her portal, and we're introduced to icon, legend, the movement, Gort, who is sort of the person who, when everything is lost in both worlds, the mortal and the non-mortal world, it ends up at Gort's. So that's an important plot point that we need to keep in our little noggins moving forward. And then Sophie, our magic, like if there was someone with the strongest magic in that family, it's Sophie. 1,000%. And she's like, something's coming. It's like West Side Story, something's coming. She's like, something's coming. And we're introduced to someone who Marnie first refers to as the bomb. Like, she's like, oh, the bomb dropped. And it's Cal and his dad, which I was like, that's weird. And immediately, within 3 minutes of the movie, Cal is stirring the pot. Immediately.
He's so cute, though.
He's like, oh, your grandma and your mom don't get along. Like, he's like going through all that stuff.
Yep.
You know, he's flirty. She's flirty. She takes him up to her grandma's bedroom to show it off. Sort of weird.
You want to see my grandma's bedroom?
Yeah. I mean, to Aggie's credit, to Marnie's credit, very cool space. I would love to exist in that space. And what happens? He's like, let me see that spell book. And Marnie's going up against it. She's like, no, you can't. You can't see my grandma's spell book. And he's like, okay. And Marnie's like, okay, well, let's go. She leaves the room first. Insane. So anyway, he ends up shrinking the spell book without saying a spell. The spell book shrinks. He puts it in his pocket. He bags it. He starts to GTFO. Meanwhile, Aggie's downstairs. She's like, where's my magic? The bag. We talked about it. Nothing's coming out of the bag. She knows something wrong. Sophie knows something's wrong. Marnie's still in Loveland, you know, putzing around, all infatuated with Cal. Oh, and
4 pages of notes.
We're introduced to the concept of headphones, which are just the phones, the skulls that are phones. And then my favorite part is Cal's theme song that, like, whenever he's revealed, it's like this like strings, and he like comes out of nowhere. Anyway, Aggie and Marnie are like, let's go back to Halloweentown. The bus stop
Not there.
is gone. It's poof, disappeared. Also, plot point number 2 that I'm like, what is going on? That this high school dance is like they refer to it as like, this is where the mortal world stops. Like at this specific suburban high school dance. It's very hocus pocus.
Very hocus
of like a dance and all hell breaks. Like, what's going on in France? Anyway. So they get to Halloweentown, ultimately, Aggie and Marnie, and they realize the gray spell has taken over a part. And what does that mean? It means that all of the beings, all of the things within Halloweentown become I think the quote was like a caricature of what they think all humans are. So like boring, dull, like Al. When actually...
And that's the end of this episode. Thank you so much for listening.
That was so cold. Holy shit.
I'm glad you said that because now people can see how you treat
I'm
me.
so mean. I'm mean. I'm a meanie.
Well, everyone, this is news to you. This is our last week living together. I'm actually moving out next Wednesday, and that is not a lie.
Are you guys breaking up right now?
We're getting divorced. Ryan's keeping the kids.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
much like Gwen did when her husband died. That was an amazing segue.
Oh my.
So then Aggie and Marnie are in Halloweentown. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? Gray spell. Everything's gray. They're like scared. I'm scared. Everybody in the community is like, we're boring. They're out. They're elves putzing around. So then we get the iconic line where they try to call the family through the skull phone. And she's like, you have to tell mom, like, blah, 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 Dylan. And he's like, no, mom needs to get some ass. Maybe that's, if that's that part. He's like, mom deserves a man, like, is what he, like, ends up saying at one point. Anyway, but she's like, oh, do it or I'll spam your diary all over the net. Again, favorite thing. Second, little Sophism. She knows that Cal stole the spell book like that. No questions asked. Marnie's still, I wonder what happened. Like, put two and two together.
The whole movie, she's like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if she's like playing coy because she's, she still has a thing for Cal the whole time, or if she's just like kind of dumb.
He's so charming.
He is.
He
put a spell on her.
Oh.
I put a spell on
Okay.
you.
And then, this is another. This is another favorite line of mine in a disgusting way because it's a disgusting line. When Cal then morphs himself into the concrete block that has taken over the pumpkin, he says he did the spell just the way it was written in Aggie's spell book, you naughty girl, is what he says to Martin. And he goes, you naughty girl. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that.
But he doesn't say it. He's like, you naughty girl.
Yeah, weird.
Very like guttural.
Okay. So then, but Cal and Marnie are basically just ping-ponging back and forth. It's revealed that Cal is the son of Calabar, who screwed things over in movie 1. And it's revealed that he's like trying to close the portal and make all the humans Halloweentown ugly creatures. Then he just sort of disappears back into the concrete block. They get to Aggie's house, which is not gray. Why is Aggie's house outside not gray?
Yeah, the exterior. Yeah. I think my take on, I know I was a little confused by that too. My take on it was like the spell hadn't spread all the way yet. Like it had started in the center of town and it was sort of like bleeding out.
Is gray. Anyway, the whole like what is gray, what's not is like a question. Like why was Aggie turning gray before? Not sport. Hey, I'm getting ahead of myself. But she's like, I have another copy of my spell book. We just have to find it and say the spell in reverse to reverse the spell, which is incredible to me. Of like, just if like Avada Kedavra backwards, you just have to say that and you're undead or you unkill someone. Anyway, not the same wizarding world. Can you write that down and figure out what it is backwards and get back to me? Thank you. So then they have this montage of looking for the second spell book. They're like, it's not here. Luke, Marnie's side piece in the Halloweentown universe is like around. Forgot to mention that. But he's like just assisting them, I guess. And he turns ugly again. Okay, he was gray.
Well, he was always
gray, and like the hunky version of Luke.
Yeah,
when she first got there, which was the boring, dull gray spell took over, and he's hunky, and then he became the like gremlin. No, I shouldn't cast judgment on someone's physical appearance.
He's a
It's
goblin,
sort of like a warlock.
Right? That's his species.
Goblin.
Yeah, he's a warlock, I think.
So there, which
No, he's a goblin.
Oh,
Cal's
yeah.
a warlock.
I'm here.
so they asked the question
They
of
literally
like,
said
why
it.
is he ugly again? But they don't say that, but like they don't try to figure it out. They're just like, weird, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, because he just like all of a sudden is fine
Right.
again. Like it's like poof,
Yeah.
and then he's normal.
So they're like, let's go to Gort because all lost things go to Gort, and that's where the spell book that's lost might be. Meanwhile, they're like trying to download Dylan and the family on like all the shit going down in Halloweentown. So then cut to them at Gort's. He says he might have sold the book in a yard sale, which is an amazing sort of plot point.
Well, Gort
Yes,
is gray.
that is so
we should
true.
mention.
At this point, he is boring. He's the owl version of himself. And
Watching the dissolution of your relationship live.
This is how
really
I'm treated
spectacular.
all the time. And I'm moving out. Moving on out. To the left, everything you want in a box to the left, in the closet, that's my stuff, yes, if I bought it, please don't touch.
So anyway, What's His Nuts is healed, and Aggie starts. The gray spells. Aggie, she's like, oh my God, I'm turning gray. And then Cal comes back. He just keeps like popping up and being like, I've been spying this whole time. I knew you'd be looking for the spell book here. And then this is when he's like still trying to convince Marnie, like, be on the dark side. It's very like Star Wars-y. So then Aggie, she's like turning gray. She's like, oh my God, she's
You
like,
keep
Tin
backing
Man.
away from the
Oh,
microphone,
sorry.
Ryan.
She's like becoming gray. She's like, oh, I'm acting. And
For the camera.
and she's like, oh, I remember this creature spell that was banned during the dark times, which I think there's a prequel that we need to investigate of like
Ooh.
what happened during the dark times. Yeah. But she's basically like, it turns the humans into the creatures that they were mocking. Okay. So if I was 7th grade, if this happened 7th grade Halloween, I would have become Beetlejuice at midnight. If this was 4th grade Halloween, I would have been Harry Potter. If this was 3-year-old Halloween, I would have been Winnie the Pooh. If this was my 21-year-old Halloween, I would have been Winnie the Pooh. If it was my 24-year-old Halloween, I would have been Winnie the Pooh. So, oh bother. So anyway, meanwhile, Sophie's like looking through this book and she's like, frog, creature. And she realizes that Cal's dad, who is introduced and like trying to hook it with Gwen.
Hook it?
Yeah.
Hook it.
Yeah. It's okay, boomer. And she's like, he was dressed as a frog. And Dylan was like, oh my God, I think he turned into a frog. So then they realize he's this creature that's a frog that just basically.
A golem?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Lord of the
Golem.
Rings. Also infused.
Shout out to my dad,
Mhm.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So she's like, okay, this dude that mom's seeing is just like a little pawn in Cal's little world. So who figures that out? Say it with me. 1, 2, 3.
Sophie.
It took me this long to write it down, but Avada Kedavra backwards is Arvada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra.
Kind of
That's
sounds
amazing.
similar, yeah.
Okay, so then Aggie's like trying to say the spell backwards to undo it, which to me is like LOL, because like that's amazing to me. And Marnie's like, we need to get out of here. Let's time travel. Let's like go back in time. This is their first dabbling with time travel.
Yeah.
Again, very Prisoner of Azkaban of them.
Who did it first, though?
It was probably right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't remember.
Oh yeah, that's true. So Aggie becomes whole ass boring, as I wrote down, and she can't do the time spell with Marnie. So Marnie's like, and this is the point where I wrote in capital letters, Debbie Reynolds is acting. Like, she is like incredible. And I don't like, there's a difference between KJB acting and like Debbie Reynolds acting. Like, Debbie Reynolds is like, given the moment exactly what it needs.
A lot of stock work in this scene.
Yes. I hope that she went method for this role.
She just
is that
wore
what Daniel
gray
Day-Lewis
makeup.
does?
I don't know.
But
Lady Gaga does.
What's the acting where you become like Jim Carrey?
Yeah,
does
it's Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah, it's method.
What did I say?
You said that.
You said Daniel.
Oh.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
I was like, yes, you're correct. That's Daniel
Okay,
Day-Lewis.
no, I thought that I would have said his name wrong, and that's
No.
why. Okay.
No, you said it right. Him, like Christian Bale is like that. Like, there's a whole bunch of actors who like take it way too far.
Yeah.
Well, so at this point, Marnie is like, let's do the time travel spell by herself. She's shit at it. It's like she's reading. It's like she's reading she is kind of reading Latin, but she's like, like, have some confidence, like, or fake it till you make it. But anyway, they have this little montage of her going back to the cavemen, back to like different times, and she can't get it on the nose of where she wants to be. She does the spell again. They get back to Gort's and they realize that Cal stole the book or bought the book from Gort 50 years ago. So now they have somewhere to point to. Meanwhile, Sophie is dressing Dylan up in a culturally insensitive costume. And she's like, we're going to the party, the Halloween party, to stop this, to tell Mom. So that's like what's going on there. So then Luke asks the question again of like, how am I normal now? And she's like, oh my God, maybe I said something in reverse. Or he's like, maybe you said something in reverse. So then they started remembering the exact words that she used hours before, which
When he was also under a spell.
right.
So how would he even like remember?
So one of them was a trap. Oh, a trap. This trap, a spell. And then he was like, trap, spell. That's a part. Trap, And then she's like, oh my God, trappa. She's pointing at everything. Trappa. Her and Gort go back and forth. She's trapping to hell and back. And trappa. That's like what gets people out of the gray spell. To be crystal clear about what that does.
And Luke literally figures this out. Marnie doesn't figure like anything out.
Right. No.
Yeah.
So Marnie and Luke are like sort of lost in the time travel of it all. And they're like, we need to get back to modern times. We need to get back to 2000, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Sophie creates a fly at the high school gym, proves that Cal's dad is a frog.
Not a
frog.
frog.
Well, the frog creature, a golem. And that's when Dylan utters the words that were always in like the teaser trailer of the Halloweentown when they would have it at Halloweentown 2, when they would have it on Disney Channel, of that's not normal. And they would always have that. And and then he always goes, does anybody know where we can find a swamp after they like, and I'm like, get out. Okay.
Powers? What powers?
What powers?
Oh, I love that line. So Gwen is like, shit, I was wrong. She's like frantically trying to call Marnie through the headphone to like, and then Gort. So that's what's happening at the high school gym. Gwen's like, I need to figure this out. Like, welcome to the plot. And so then Gort pulls his timeline out, which is like, which tells them what year it is in the mortal world.
The other thing that stood out to me about this moment, a 16-year-old girl seems to understand the physics of time travel.
She couldn't figure out anything else.
Trappa.
Right.
Yeah.
She's literally figured out nothing this entire movie, and somehow she understands how time travel works. What? Anyway, sorry, proceed.
No, so then she musters up her broom, which then begs the question, what's the purpose of Benny for them? Benny the cab driver. Why don't they just poof their brooms? And then one of my favorite parts of the movie, they're going through the portal and it's like they're driving through this endless tunnel. And the tunnel is just I love this part because when they need to get to a year, it's just floating text in the air that says
It's like a pick art.
Yeah.
Or
like
what was it?
Word art.
Word art.
Flying your broom until the text says the year. The word art says the year, which I thought was really beautiful. Cal is like, I'm going to do the monster spell. Okay. And he gets the mask back attached to Gwen, the ugly mask. And he's like, I'm going to turn everybody in this gym and what we have to assume is the world into creature, like
the people in France,
like what
also
are the
being
implications
turned.
in Brazil? What are the implications in Taiwan? Like, is everybody going through this? And the epicenter is this like Columbus, Ohio, like suburban.
I forgot that this takes place in Columbus, Ohio.
It doesn't, but like you know what I mean. So then he does his little spell, which he also like fumbles through it. And he turns all of them. Number one, Gwen is terrifying.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones are like a slightly elevated version of their mask. She is a full out creature.
She looks like the creature from Don't Look Under the Bed.
Yeah. They probably
but even scarier.
Yeah.
She's like green. And...
Yeah, it definitely gave those vibes. I wonder if that was actually her or if that was like a special effects like actor.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
It was spooky.
And she's like, like, and everybody else is screaming. Why does Sophie not turn into a cowgirl?
And why does Dylan not turn into whatever he was?
Well, that's the thing. Like, I think from what I could tell from what they were showing, the people who weren't like overtly dressed as like a monster didn't change because they weren't making fun of monsters, right?
Oh, okay. So
but
all the people in France
were,
are fine because of the time change.
Oh, I get.
Then they're probably not dressed up as monsters.
Because it's November 1st.
Right. And that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it is very geographically
set in Columbus, Ohio.
Within somewhere between the Pacific and Eastern time zones. We know it's in this hemisphere.
We do.
And that is as far as Cal's.
I think it's funny that the mortal world time is just like one time. Like the mortal world, it's counting down to midnight.
Right.
Okay, well,
Australia
thinks a little different there.
Right. Can you just get a portal to like Pacific time? Yeah. Like a few hours earlier?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's okay. We just got to think not too hard about it.
Right.
I did skip over the fact that Eggie does come back. So Eggie like comes back, right? Maybe it's around
yeah. She undoes the gray.
She trappas her, and then they're all trying to get. They get to Halloweentown in the present day.
Was that a good impression?
That was really good.
All right. Sorry, Ryan. Continue.
No. So then Eggie and Marnie are like, we got to open the portal, get back. Everyone in the gym is screaming. They're like trying to open. They can't open the portal. It's closed.
They open it. Marnie runs to the opening, which she could easily fit through and just watches it close.
Yeah.
It's a very Titanic door moment. Yeah. Like two people could have fit on that door. Marnie could have fit through this door.
Yes, she could.
So then Marnie's like, shit. Like, oh my God, we have to do something. My favorite thing is Aggie's like, well, we did all we can. And she's like,
we're going to go about living our lives.
And Marnie's like, no, we can't. So then she calls Sophie through the skull phone and she's like, we're all going to do this. The power of the Cromwells together. We're going to open the portal. Here are the words that they utter. We call on the dreams of creature and mortal to heal the wound of worlds divide. From now on, we each can create a portal and each of us our own path decide. My favorite part that is happening during all of this is the portal starts to form. Chaos is over. Like everybody was formerly screaming in the gym. Now everybody's standing in a very polite circle around. Like all the monsters have like dropped their monster energy and are just like like vacant, numb expressions looking at the portal. No one is scared anymore. Like the humans are just like watching all of the exposition happen. Like before Marnie sets them free, they're all just like chill. So Cal and Marnie have an exchange of like, well, this is like, this is it. Like when Voldemort, and I'm going back to a lot of Harry Potter, but
you're obsessed.
when Voldemort and Harry like grab each other's arms and then they throw themselves up
where he's like, come with me.
It was very like that.
Kind of sexy though.
Yeah. It also it gave me like WWE energy, like how they talk about their rivalry before they actually fight.
Yes.
Like, I don't know. It felt very like heel and what's the face? Heel and face.
Yeah. So Marnie's trying to
Do you know what she's talking about?
Yeah. I used to be big into WWE.
No, you did not.
Yes, I swear to God. Isn't that crazy?
When?
I used to play like the SmackDown video games. Very off brand for me.
That is so off brand for you.
When I was like 11 to 13, I was like,
oh, well,
WWE.
we didn't become friends till 14, so that makes sense.
What happened? Oh, Marnie simply gets the books back. It's like she does her spell and the books come back to her.
Out of Calabar.
Cal's hands. Because Cal has the books.
So Cal like puts them forward and he's got like evil magic coming out, like kind of protecting them. And she just like makes herself glow with like positive energy and just can like break through his force fields.
And my favorite thing that happens as a result of that, Cal disintegrates into air. Like
just like
the books are taken, he disintegrates in the air. No one leaves a lot open, like to be explored in future movies.
Which we don't acknowledge, right?
We don't acknowledge. That's why I mean in future movies, because 3 doesn't exist. So then all the creatures are standing around. Aggie reads the spell backwards in an incredible way. Because she's just like, the way that
they literally just reversed her audio. Listen to it again.
But did they really just reverse her audio?
Listen to it. It sounds exactly like if you play a record backwards.
Wow. But anyway, that's pretty much the close of the movie. They're like, okay, now we can go back and forth to Halloweentown whenever we want.
Yeah, Aggie says she's gonna move back to Halloweentown. Mom is happy that they're not living together anymore.
They trap the shit out of the place. Everybody's back.
Yeah.
You get a trap, but
exactly.
you get it.
Good reference, Val. Good
That was
job,
great.
Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Ryan has this is why Ryan is on the Halloweentown 2 and not Halloweentown 1. This is a really meaningful really tough topic for Ryan to talk about. So Ryan, I'm going to give you the floor again.
I made a tweet thread about this because it's that important to me. In the credits of Halloweentown 1, it lists the actor's name and says as Calabar. Can anybody tell me how Calabar is spelled?
Calabar.
Thank you. When you look at the title for Halloweentown 2, Calabar's Revenge, how is Calabar spelled?
Kalabar.
To me, this implies the existence of 2 Calabars. And I'm not talking about son and dad. I'm talking about 2 versions of Dad Calabar who were revenging. There's Calabar with a C, and then there's Calabar with a K. Not the same Calabar.
So is this a multiverse
Thank
thing?
you. That's that is the only way that and maybe time moves in different spaces. I just don't who are we talking about? It's Calabar. Even if you were to say the justification of Calabar with a K is Calabar Jr., why?
You wouldn't
spell it different.
You wouldn't, even because in the subtitles it's C.
Yes, it continues to be
C-A-L.
So how many Calabars are there? How many which one are we talking about? Who are we taking? Is the same Thank God, actually, that they have that intro at the beginning, because they are able to say it's this Calabar we're talking about, not the Calabar that's in the title. So where's the Calabar in the title? Where is that Calabar? Where is Calabar with a K?
Are there a bunch of Cromwells that are spelled with a K? Somewhere running around?
Let's not get into that, and let's get into bingo. All right. Welcome to bingo, everyone. So, Ryan, since you're a guest, you go ahead and start in the top left corner.
One hit wonder song.
Val, you going to tell us yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So there is a song in the credits.
Which was so
down.
Fun.
Yep. It is.
Not that one.
No, there's an actual song. Witch's Brew by David Casper.
Oh.
So it came up on Shazam, but is not available on Spotify. So unfortunately, I could not add it to our playlist.
That's okay, but it is a one-hit wonder.
Yep.
Breaking the fourth wall or looking into the camera.
Doesn't she kind of at the beginning when she's like typing at the computer?
Oh, yeah. I'm marking it.
Holiday themed.
Oh, absolutely.
You bet your
baby.
sweet ass.
We haven't had this one in a while.
Clunky metaphor. The spider web.
Oh, we could take it as a literal
sort of
metaphor. Sure.
Yeah. No, that's
that counts.
The best metaphors are the ones that are literal things.
Yeah.
Also, like the whole thing of like turning into monsters versus like turning into humans, and like it's always like the caricature of what they thought it was. And
right.
Blah, blah, blah.
It's
There's
like, if you get to know us, we're actually not that bad.
Right.
But I would say humans are pretty bad.
It's all about, say it with me, racism.
Parents who just don't get it.
Gwen.
Yeah.
Again. She just is so one-dimensional in these movies.
Yep. Such a bummer.
Yeah.
Cool non-parent adult. Aggie baby.
Aggie.
And Gort.
Gort. Everybody.
Someone too famous for a TV movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Debbie Reynolds.
In a big way.
Mm-hmm.
Singing in the rain. Singing in the rain. Competition to resolve a central problem. No, not here.
A montage sequence. The first thing that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they're like looking around the house for the book,
Yeah.
they kind of like montaged fast forward.
It was like a fast forward montage. Those are fun.
Yeah.
They did one of those in Quince too. They love to do that.
Yes.
They love KGB doing that.
Has Quince already happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You'd know if you listened to the podcast.
Me too.
Next box.
Cliche villains.
Yeah, the son of the man who died.
Oh yeah, that's a cliche.
The avenging son. Yes, for sure. And he is very cliche. I think he's wearing like a leather, like knee length trench coat the entire time.
And he says, "You naughty girl."
Yeah, you naughty girl. That's insane to me.
I'll be a naughty girl. I'm going all the girls. I'm gonna take the bottom now. Another one to buy you. Clothes or items you owned.
I didn't see anything.
Right?
No.
He didn't know to pay attention to it.
I had a skull phone.
No, you did not. Shut it.
Rotten Tomatoes 40-60. Ryan, do you know what the score is already? Don't say it if you do.
I don't know what it is. I'm going to guess a 56.
Okay. I'm going to go 49.
You're both wrong, and we don't get the square. It was 62.
Heck yeah.
Whoa.
Good.
So we don't get the square because it did not fall in between 40 and 60. And Ryan was off by 1. If he had said 57, he would have gotten the point.
Happily ever after.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
they get everything they want.
Yep. Almost kissing.
I mean, they had some chemistry going on in the beginning.
There was some chemistry. Mom was like, I'm trying to almost go kiss this man at the Halloween party.
That's true.
Yeah, what that frog tongue do?
Frog tongue
my
do.
God. I'm so sorry I said that out loud.
No. I'm on the fence, but if you want to count
Right?
it,
You're the guest today. Do you want to mark it?
I would say no.
Okay, we're not marking it.
There was never a
All right.
moment. you know.
Like
Yeah, there wasn't
this,
like the-
some people wait a lifetime for that one special kiss. Oh, I can't believe it doesn't happen to Marnie. Some people wait a lifetime.
For someone who became famous.
A lot of character actors and KJB got okay.
Yeah, she's like an influencer,
Yeah.
which we've counted before.
We have.
So I say yes. And Cindy, her friend,
Is like
Jessica,
a very
whatever.
good character actor.
yeah.
Oh, betraying of one's real friends or values.
No.
No. Your childhood crush. Cal?
Yeah, I mean, I don't explicitly remember crushing on him, but he was definitely cute.
Cal, I think I did have a little crush on Dylan when I was a kid.
Yeah, he was cute when he was a kid. Obviously bad special effects were stunts.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
It
Yes.
started when Cal's face just started popping up in
Yeah.
the middle of random places.
Also, the timeline
Yes.
is just like a clip art animation.
Yeah.
Any broom work. Yeah.
Yeah, broom
Broom
work.
work.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric Von Detten, Kirsten Storms, Ryan Merman, Kimberly J. Brown, Annie Lawrence Bro. So definitely, yeah. Right?
I'm sorry. Ryan
Merman, right?
Merman?
Merriman. Did I say Merman?
And how did you say
Yeah.
the second one, Ryan?
Kirsten Storms. Kirsten Storms.
Thank you.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a shout out to Trent Dozier.
I love
Yep.
Xenon.
It's great.
Yeah. The Zequel. The
Undeniably
Zequel's
great.
one of my
Oh, yeah.
favorite decoms we've seen.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Zequel's so good.
I think those are like
Mhm.
number 2 for me under Halloweentown.
Nice. The Xenon Cinematic Universe.
Solid choice.
With
Mhm.
the amount of magic between those two movies, they have to exist in the same timeline.
Yeah.
They 100%.
How many years in
There has to-
space is it in Halloweentown?
Oh,
That is that's a question
That is an
for
interstellar question.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
Also, you know how there's like a Pixar theory where like
Yes.
everything in Pixar is in the same universe?
Decoms.
Let's make a decom theory.
I'm gonna let you tackle that one, Val. That is out of. I am incapable of thinking that hard.
Okay.
I'll support you though. I'll sit next to you while you do it.
Okay, great. Let's do it. Let's map it
Great.
out.
Musical number. I think they cut
no.
off the musical number in the gym before. Like they don't have like a "I put a spell on you"
No,
moment.
they don't.
So,
Yeah. No.
as always, would be a better movie with a musical number.
Of course. Of course. Magic.
It's really very simple.
So much magic and science magic and regular magic. Good magic, evil magic.
Every kind of magic you could think of, it's in this movie.
Mhm. We're just very magic heavy today.
Someone says the title of the movie. No.
Not the whole thing.
No, they don't. No one says Halloweentown 2.
No one says Calabar's Revenge.
Yeah, I don't think we can count it.
No.
Scooby Dude. Yep.
Yes. Just two youths on a timeline. The heroes create the problem. Well, they create the problem
Oh.
in that they kill Calabar.
They kill Calabar and she lets him into Aggie's room.
But he did art.
Oh, yeah.
Because they could have solved the
That's
problem.
also
with
true.
that.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
that was the thing too of like he already had the second spell book the whole time.
But he was just trying to
But he
keep
was
them
trying-
from being
yeah.
able to undo
Yeah.
Which they
it.
could have
Yeah.
easily done had they had
Yeah,
the spell
for
book that he stole.
Definitely created the
Yeah.
problem on multiple levels.
And finally, lead is a fish out of water. I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so. And
Not
like a
this time.
small way of like her really not knowing how to do anything, but not enough for it to be like actually
Mm-mm.
out of water.
No.
All right, Val. Halloweentown 2 bingos.
Woo! I love when they match.
Yay. We had our top row, which we haven't had in a while. One hit wonder song, breaking the fourth
Oh.
wall, looking into the camera, holiday themed, clunky metaphor, and parents who just don't get it. And then draw a line diagonally from parents who just don't get it, montage sequence, happily ever after, your childhood crush, and magic. A little
Nice.
7. All right, we're going to keep moving right along. And I created a game for Val and Ryan here. And I have to move my little notebook so Ryan can't cheat. All right, this game is called Spooky Snoopy or Spoopy. Spooky Snoopy or Spoopy. This is a battle between Val and Rye.
Oh my God.
There are 1,
Oh
2,
boy.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 questions here. And I'm going to read you a word, and you have to decide or say whether it's spooky, something spooky, Snoopy, something that Snoopy wore in the Peanuts, or spoopy, which is both.
Whoa. Okay. Got it.
Spooky, Snoopy, and spoopy. Now, to ring in,
Mm-hmm.
Val, your word is going to be Marnie.
Okay.
And Ryan, your word is going to be Calabar. Okay. You get to choose whether it's with a C or a K.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So our first one of Spooky, Snoopy, or Spoopy is a bat.
Calabar.
Ryan?
Spooky.
That is correct.
Feels so good.
I'm going to lose at this game because I'm not fast enough.
All right. Spooky, Snoopy, or Spoopy. Pilot.
Calabar. Snoopy.
Doesn't even wait for the okay. Maybe I should give it to Val. Brian, you're
Oh, wait, do I have
correct.
to wait for the okay?
No,
Oh.
not anymore. Vampire.
Calabar.
Val's not even trying.
No, I just can't. I'm so bad at stuff like this. Like, I would never
I'm-
go on Jeopardy.
Going to say spooky.
That is incorrect. Val, do you have another answer?
Spoopy.
Yeah.
See, I'll pick up the extras.
Extra point.
Yeah.
Here we go. A writer.
Calabar. Snoopy.
That is correct. Goblin.
Calabar. Spoopy.
Incorrect, Val.
Spooky.
Yeah.
Oh.
Witch.
Spooky. No, wait,
Marnie.
no, that's
Val.
Spoopy.
That is correct.
darn it. Oh.
This is how Val wins. Astronaut.
Calabar. Snoopy.
That is correct. Right? Dead body.
Calabar. Spooky.
That's correct.
Snoopy was a
Dead.
Can you imagine? Spoopy. He died in 1968. Last one. Santa.
Calabar. Snoopy.
That's correct.
Yay.
All right. Ryan has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to Val's 3 points. Ryan wins. Spooky Snoopy
That
or
was so
Spoopy.
That
Thanks
was really
for,
fun.
thanks
I
for
love
playing.
that game.
Wow. Hey, Rye. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We're so glad
What
you
a
came.
sweet time with 2 of my BFFs.
Aw, love you, Al.
Love you.
Wait, what? You have something you want to say.
You missing me real bad
Are you
right
missing
now.
me really bad?
Get excited because we have gone another circle around the sun, and next episode we are doing a Christmas movie. 'Twas the Night.
Yay! It's my favorite time of year, and it's here, so let's celebrate. Ryan, where can people find you on the interwebs?
My Instagram handle is Ryans, RYANS, Rynstagram, RYNSTAGRAM. And you can get all of the hot content on that site. I always post about all of my incredible shows on my stories.
Where else can they find you, Ryan?
On a TikTok, a little tiki-taki curated by the one and only Gray Spell Al Ring. She has a TikTok called My Roommate Ryan, where I am featured.
Even though Ryan will no longer be my roommate in 1 week. So by the time you're all listening to this, Ryan and I will have not been roommates. So we'll be exes. I'm not going to change the name.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
I decided I'm not going to change the name of the TikTok because
my
I think
neighbor, Ryan.
you will forever be my roommate. No.
Say it like really loud and emotional though. Like if you're Debbie Reynolds delivering that line.
No. Bye, Val.
Bye, Elle. Bye, Ryan. You have to say it into audio.
Say it.
Thank you.
Bye.
This podcast was produced by me,
And me.
and it was edited by me.
The music was composed by Michael McNally.
You can find us online at thetridentnetwork.com/dcommentaries-pod.
And you can find us on Instagram and TikTok at dcommentaries.
D-Commentaries is a part of the Trident Network. To learn more about our videos, live shows, and other podcasts, please visit thetridentnetwork.com.
Disney Channel original movies.
Damn it, Allie.